We're a rich nation, a resourceful people. We can create a prosperous nation and a fairer society, a real vision for the people of Scotland.
He's asking us to take his word for it, on everything. No plan B for anything. Trust what he says. Sorry, I can't.
Alex Salmond won quite convincingly. As we say in Scotland, it was a bit of a gubbing. Last time around, Alistair Darling, the leader of the Better Together campaign, was composed, fluent, and picked holes in Salmond's argument. This time, the SNP leader was calm, confident, strong. He was the candidate that his supporters have been waiting to hear from. The character of the debate had all the good points and all the bad points of an Edinburgh pub discussion. It was intelligent, passionate, argumentative, but at the same time, it got cacophonous.
What would be the best plan B option if there's not a currency union?
Honestly, they're all second best, and I'm not going to argue for a second best option for Scotland.
You can't criticise Alex Salmond for not giving us a plan B. You're not giving us one either.
For the most part, Salmond stayed on the right side of the line. He was composed, he was fluent, but at times he did stray into the smugness that many of his own supporters fear puts off undecided voters. All along, the pro-union campaign has seen the currency as their strongest argument. And in the last debate, Darling couldn't get an answer out of Salmond when it came to what currency an independent Scotland would use. This time around, however, Salmond had not one but three answers. He said Scotland could use the pound, and he listed three mechanisms to do so. This may have been enough for the audience, and it may be enough for voters who don't understand the intricacies of a floating peg rather than a currency board. But those that were listening closely will realise he didn't quite answer the question. Three options is not one answer.
In so many areas of life, of poverty, of food banks, of child poverty, of the loss of industrial jobs, Westminster stands indicted because of their running of the economy of Scotland.
Yes, the things are difficult just now for very obvious reasons, but I believe that we were making a huge mistake to take on risks that we don't need and giving up on opportunities that we actually need for our children and generations to come.
Over the past 2 years, Alex Salmond and the Yes campaign have tried to, in the awful phrase, de-risk independence, to make it seem like less of a big deal than the opposing side would have it. Now, however, they are trying to paint the opposite argument, the status quo, the no vote, as the big gamble. For example, last night he said, if you vote no, then the NHS is at risk. Poverty may go up. Welfare reforms may be enacted north of the border. Now, this is a bold argument to say that breaking up a 307-year-old union is somehow a safer option than voting no, but it is one that appeals to Scots who feel themselves to be more socially inclined towards social democracy than perhaps some of the more strident reforms being enacted by Westminster.
Now, of course, we could go it alone, but I don't believe we'd be as successful as Scotland will be as part of the United Kingdom.
This referendum is about the future of Scotland, and the future of Scotland should be in the hands of the people of Scotland. It's about believing that we can govern ourselves better than anyone else can.
A snap poll after the debate showed that most Scots thought Salmond had won it. That's right, he did. But whether that will translate into more undecideds going to the yes column is unclear. The one thing I think we can take from the debate, though, is that it is a shot in the arm for supporters of the Nationalists and supporters of a yes vote. And given how important it will be to knock on doors, hand out leaflets, post things on Facebook, tweet support for independence, then this could have a small but significant impact in the final weeks.
Thank you for being with us.